Good evening, everybody, and welcome to RPG Limit Break, where tonight we may crown our next Dragon Warrior Randomizer champion. How's everybody doing tonight? Tonight, we have game two in the grand finals of Brian Williams42 versus Tilo Tilo. This should be a fantastic race. If Brian Williams42 should pull off the victory, he will be crowned grand champion for 2021. If Tilo Tilo wins, he forces a game three tomorrow afternoon. How's everybody doing out there in Chatland? I am Z-Man050778, and with me tonight in the commentator's booth is my friend Vela V. V, how are you doing tonight, my friend? You looking forward to this one?
I am absolutely looking forward to a great race. The race one of this series was a slog, to say the least, and we'll see if this one turns out to be the same. In fact, I'm looking at that 5 strength, and that's telling me that we are not going to be able to take out a whole lot of stuff outside of Tantagel Castle unless there is something useful inside that treasury.
Yeah, indeed. So our runners right now, I mean, obviously they don't know their stats right now, but they're looking for a torch, they're looking for a fairy water, or they're looking for some sort of big stick in the throne room there. And I mean, at strength 5, what are you killing around the castle? You're killing blue slimes, you're killing red slimes, and with 24 HP, you can probably damage race a Drakey, maybe.
You could try a Drakey with 24 if you've got all of your health, I think, going into it. You stand a chance of maybe taking a Drakey, but I'm thinking blue and red slimes is more or less what they're limited to, unless, of course, they find one of those fairy waters or a torch or, as you mentioned, a big Erdrick sword hanging out there in the treasury. It's still they have a breath of hope, but again, that 5 strength, I would definitely be worried about that once I open up my stats.
And you do mention, that they have a breath of hope. Well, and you never know. The slimes, both slimes, may wake up with a breath of their own, which would make them unsuitable for slaughtering, which could be a problem.
Yeah, absolutely. Of course, what our runners will be looking for in this race is to pick up their key items as well as their stats to take on the Dragon Lord. We'll talk about those a little bit as they start to pick them up, but you can see that everything is down there on the tracker. Taking care of our tracker tonight is Archfield Monk, who's also taking care of our restream. So we've got the whole team on, and we should be starting in just maybe another minute or so. It looks like they're making some final arrangements. With regard to the flag set, aside from our standard flags today, we do have the scared metal slimes, as well as the normal scaled metal slimes on. So metal slimes will run away, have a potential to run away no matter what their strength is. We also have the permanent torch. Both our runners are excellent at navigating this game in the dark, but they agreed for the benefit of us watching the match that they will have the torches on in dungeons. It makes it for a lot better viewing on your side. So we do appreciate them putting that on. And I'm looking forward to seeing how this will start off.
Yeah, indeed, this should be a good one. I mean, race 1 was a very good one. As you mentioned, race 1 was indeed a slog. I believe Brian Williams finished first and just shy of 2.5 hours. Let's see, are we going to get something similar? Are we going to get a bit of a jet seed here? We're going to find out really pretty soon, I think.
Yeah, in fact, I am seeing the countdown going down in the race time room. There is a bit of a lag, but we should see them starting any moment. We'll get some instructions from the king, and then once he is done, our runners will pick up the chest, and we are off. So again, King Lork giving them some instructions, and they will now take whatever they may find in these treasure chests. What may they find?
All right, there's an herb, so that makes a Drakey a little bit. There's a fairy water. There we go. All right, fairy water. There's their way into level 2 right away.
Absolutely. Looks like Brian Williams accidentally gave a quick cast of the Radiant spell. Tilo opting to talk to the king. I think maybe tried to do a safety save just in case the fairy water fails. But forgot that you have to go downstairs before you can talk to the king and save, and that pretty much makes up for Brian Williams' accidental Radiant, and both runners are basically neck and neck again.
Yep, indeed. So, I mean, really now, what are our runners looking for? They're looking for a Magic Drakey, they're looking for a Metal Scorpion. Both of those can go down to 1 fairy water. So let's see what we have here.
Yeah, I mean, Metal Scorpion is tough. You need like a max roll on your fairy water and a min on the Scorp. Regular scorpions are good. Magicians are good. Heck, even that ghost. But I think Brian Williams looking for something stronger. Meanwhile, Tilo just fighting the red slimes the old-fashioned way. But Brian Williams does find a magician, sprinkles the fairy water, takes it out. And that'll be an insta-level 2 for Brian Williams.
Let's see what we have here in level 2. We've got, 1 extra power, 1 agility, 6 hit points, 2 MP, and no other spells. So kind of a useless level 2 there.
Yeah, I mean, those hit points are kind of nice to get, especially during their last seed. If I remember, hit points was one of their limiting factors, and they had a lot of swamp to contend with. Not a whole lot of swamp here. There's a nice convenient desert for grinding just to the south of Tantagel. Tilo taking on a ghost here, and Brian Williams has found a town. It is the town of Rimeldar. Keys are available as soon as they can rake up 53 gold.
Now that's fantastic. Brian Williams going to go check the weapon shop here, see if there's anything good. Oh, there's a bamboo pole. I mean, so that 2 attack power actually makes a big difference right now. Now that makes ghosts eminently, doable, especially with an herb and 30 max HP. So that bamboo pole shouldn't really be laughed at. I think it's really... Oh, no, the fairy water did not kill the magician on Tilo's side.
That is unfortunate for Tilo. And yeah, that bamboo pole, that two attack power representing, a 33% increase. Tilo is able to get the last swing on the magician. Does get his level 2 as Brian Williams taken out by looks like a baby breath from that Druid Lord.
Yeah, indeed, that Druid Lord did have baby breath, and there's a Drakima, of course, with 6 strength and 6 attack power. There's nothing really, happening there except for a death.
Yeah, I mean, I guess you get your hit points back. Wolf, they're probably not ready for a wolf. Gonna run away from that. And it looks like that zone, zone 1, the one that's directly to the south, is just a couple of tiles away from Tantagel in the desert there.
And we're going to have Tilo. No, Tilo's not going to stretch his legs too terribly much. I thought he might stretch them down enough to see Cole, but he needs to get a little bit further south in order to see the town of Cole.
Yeah, at this point, there isn't really much to get in Cole. Definitely you want to know that it's there, or Rimeldar, rather. Definitely want to know that it's there so that you know to stop grinding, but they are a little ways away from being able to generate the 53 gold needed. I mean, I suppose getting that bamboo pole could help out Tilo. Kind of depends on what level 3 brings.
And we do see Brian here being able to take down these ghosts while Tilo right now still has to run from the ghost, not having picked up that bamboo pole out of Rimeldar.
Yeah, actually, yeah. Brian Williams able to poke it reliably, getting that 1 damage per, and he's got the hit points to do it. And there we go, ghost down. Brian Williams now just 1 experience point away from level 3.
In fact, both our runners are 1 experience point away from level 3. So Tilo's looking for a red slime, which is, of course, his sprite. And Brian Williams is looking to take on this ghost.
If only he could fall on his own sword and get experience for that. Half my gold for 1 experience point, please. And Brian Williams still poking this ghost down and gets an excellent move for 5 whole damage. It's enough to take it out. And here comes level 3.
7 power, 2 hit, 2 agility, 4 HP, 2 MP, and the spell of sleep. Okay, so you get some more things now in the range. I think we saw some scorpions, which are certainly now in the range. We got magicians. The sleep spell will help with the scorpions, keeping them asleep.
Yeah, sleep on scorpions. The magicians, he should be able to just swat down now. So that's really good for Brian Williams and should be able to pick up level 4 very quickly, in short succession. In fact, this scorpion ought to do it.
Of course, though, the scorpion needs to stay asleep, and Brian needs to do better rolls than just 2, but can whittle down a scorpion that slowly, I suppose.
Tilo finally finds his red slime.
Brian Williams with another Kai no Ichigeki to take him to level 4.
1 power, 2 response speed, 2 hit points, and 9 whole magic. Not a whole lot to help our runners here.
Yeah, this is a...
gold.
Oh, but he does have 56 gold, so he's going to get a key right now.
Yeah, go ahead and spend that gold before something takes it away from you. Definitely want to get the key, even if he doesn't decide to use it right away. Definitely want to spend that money before, something jumps out and spits a breath or something that we didn't see yet.
Yeah, I think I would have. I mean, does Brian Williams go check the treasury right away, or does he sit on the key? Yeah, he's going to sit on the key, do a little exploration, maybe see if there's something else around. Oh, another. Oh, well, I was going to say another excellent move on a poltergeist, but the poltergeist is like makes a lump of charcoal and sends Brian Williams back to King Lorik.
Yeah, I imagine he makes a save here, and then we'll check that treasury. Hopefully there's money so we can go buy some more keys and have a gold grind to set up. And yeah, there's the save. But if treasury ends up being a bust, he could always do the reset and use his key elsewhere.
Yeah, like if he happens to find Darrenham fairly quickly, that would be a good use of a key.
Absolutely. And our treasury chests, we've got a fairy water. We've got a fighter's ring. Erdrick's armor in the center chest. And Erdrick's token.
So yeah, you're not resetting out of that.
No, you put that armor on, you kill a couple more things, and go buy another key. Meanwhile, Tilo taking a death to a ghost. Tilo never saw Rimmeldar, so he actually did have pretty much that same gold, 56 gold, but did just take a death there. And so not traveling south actually going to be hurting Tilo quite a bit, as he is now every second without that Erdrick's armor is going to be Tilo losing out on experience.
Oh, and we have Brian Williams taking on a Metal Scorpion here. Brian Williams throwing his fairy water at the Metal Scorpion, min-rolls it for a damage of 9, and then gets put to sleep by the Metal Scorpion. So those Metal Scorpions not really on the table just yet.
Absolutely not. Tilo taking out a Magician for level 4, as Brian Williams finds a cave guarded by a Wraith Knight. In he goes. It is the Staff Turn-In Cave. So once they find the Silver Harp, they'll be able to turn that into a Staff of Rain. They've already picked up Erdrick's token. They're also looking for the Stones of Sunlight. All of those can be combined to create a rainbow drop. Red dragons on the overworld, however, are going to be working on stopping that. So Brian Williams, the first to see the red dragon. Tilo, at basically the same cave, did not go south and did not see Rimmeldar. But has seen this Staff Turn-In Cave.
Alright, so... And look, an Axe Knight. So we got some nice Sherlock enemies here just south of the Turn-In Cave.
Yeah, and, I'm hoping for Tilo's sake that direction kind of has been, kind of made it scary for him, and that he goes south and finds that Rimmeldar town. Crossing my fingers for Tilo here to catch this, to keep him in the game. And he is going in the right direction.
Yep. Well, I'm pretty sure if I have the map read right, that would have just circled right back around to either just south of Tantagil, or basically would have circled around here to Rimmeldar.
Absolutely. Tilo noting that we have found it, does not even bother checking the things, and realizes I need to pick up another 13 gold from something, and I need it fast.
Like, ghosts will do. I mean, he's pretty much anything he's able to kill right now. He wants the money.
Yep. Chad, of course, noting that Erdrick's armor does not improve 0 to 1 damage against a lot of monsters. They definitely need to pick up something to help with the strength in the strength department, or in the attack power rather. Like even like a club or maybe a copper sword would be nice. I forget what the other weaponry that was available was.
Yeah, I didn't
Brian Williams
see it.
picks up level.
114, 1-2, no more spells.
Hey, but that agility though.
I mean, agility is nice. They got nothing else though.
And Tilo poking at the Scorpion there, hoping to get that gold. Scorpion will give him plenty of gold. Of course, he knows that Rimmeldar is right there, and I wouldn't be surprised if we, don't see a due south, survive at all costs, get to Rimmeldar, pick up a key.
Yep, there we go. Now it'll be interesting to see if Tilo does basically the same thing. Maybe stretch his legs, get killed, and then check the treasury as soon as King Lorik brings him back.
I think that's a good, more or less a good plan of action, because, exploration, you want to see what's out there in the world. And, you know, you don't want to spend a whole lot of time backtracking. So kind of the next time I'm back in town, I'll use my key.
Right.
Metal Scorpion, not quite ready for it.
Now, I think Brian Williams has accumulated enough gold to buy 2 keys, so I think he's going to pick up 2 right now.
Tilo takes the death to the Wyvern, is in the castle. Let's see if he does a safety save here. He does not, so probably straight to the treasury.
Yeah, with Rimildar right there, I don't really blame Tilo for not doing a safety save here. So he's going to pick up a Fairy Water, which is going to help close this little experience gap here that Brian Williams has built ever so slightly. But more importantly, he's going to pick up his Fighter's Ring, his Erdrick's Armor, and Erdrick's Totem.
Absolutely. And now Tilo has evened up. He got it fairly quickly, but he's about, I think, 40 or so experience points behind. And of course, missing that all-important bamboo pole. And I guess a couple of keys. Brian Williams taking on a Droll and just basically hitting it for 1 or 2 at a time, but it's damage broken. It's only hitting him for 3 or 4.
Yep, so this is the classic slap fight between Brian Williams and a Droll.
Yeah, but eking his way ever so closely to a level 6.
And Brian Williams does see a cave across this little channel here. Question is, can he get to it?
Looks like he's going to make a reach as Tilo does pick up level 5. And is just grinding around here.
It looks like Brian Williams will be able to get to that cave by going across this bridge here and then going south.
And I think Tilo's looking for additional gold money. And yeah, Brian stretching his legs a little bit. He meets a magician, which is, you know, nice enemy for right now. In fact, it seems to be that same zone. Ooh, a warlock. Armored knights are in that desert just there. I think it's just a couple steps to the west. That's not cool.
No, that's I think that's that same Sherlock zone that has the red dragons and the axe knights.
Yeah, red dragons, axe knights. Yeah, just to the west. Yeah, absolutely. So I think we found kind of a corner of where the zones meet. And
yeah, indeed.
Let's take away half of Tilo's gold. He was, I believe, grinding up for additional key money.
So another couple enemies here, and Brian Williams will be at level 6. In fact, I'm pretty sure this ghost will do it.
Yeah, it should. Yeah, ghost down. Here comes level 6. Fresh with 3 power, 7 response speed, 1 hit point, 6 magic, and no new spells.
Strength is lacking here at level 6, and a complete lack of, well, I would say useful spells. Sleep is useful, but it's not heal, it's not hurt, it's not heal more, it's not hurt more. So, you know, this is kind of slowing things down here at the start.
Yeah, just a little bit. Of course, Radiant completely useless in a in a permanent Torch Seed. Always like to see that when it's as the first spell when it's not useful. And of course, levels are widening out here, right? Level 7's not going to be until 337 experience points, so you kind of do need to find some way to make it happen. And let's see if something in this cave will help out. Swamp South.
Well, this cave will only help out if it spits, well, I mean, if it spits Brian Williams out either in the back of Garenham or if it spits him out near a town.
Yeah, well, let's see what happens. He gets away from that wolf lord. There's a rogue scorpion. These are hard to run from, and they hit plenty hard. Oh, he gets away, though. 38 agility paying off.
Oh, Tilo tries the Fairy Water strats on the Metal Scorpion. Doesn't kill it with 1 hit, but does get an excellent move to kill it with the second hit.
That's actually really big for Tilo. That puts him, you know, just a couple steps away from level 6. Brian Williams meets a Star Wyvern, is exploring on this other side of the swamp. There hasn't been anything for about a couple of screens. It looked like it went both to the east and the west. He's currently traveling in the easterly direction.
So now it looks like we're going to have Tilo taking on a Drakima here in another slap fight. And this is where really that bamboo pole of Brian's is actually making a pretty decent difference here, because Brian Williams was able at level 5 to hit a Drakima for 2 and 3. So this fight went like twice or 3 times as fast for Brian Williams than it's going for Tilo.
Yeah, at these very low levels, especially with strength being so horrible, I mean, just a couple of additional attack power makes a big difference against these early enemies. Chat pointing out that Brian Williams has found the bird zone. I think he saw all the variants of wyverns up there.
Meanwhile, he found that skeletons, which would be a really nice enemy for our runners pretty soon, right? One of those mid-tier enemies. Unfortunately, skeletons have sleep and they have hurt more.
That is not nice of them. We got a Sharlock sighting, so through the swamp cave and to the east and then south is our Sharlock location. Tilo making his way into Rimeldar. He's done some fighting. We've got a cave and a town by Sharlock.
Mountain cave?
Mountain cave. Let's see what's in the town first. Uh-oh. This could be bad. Oh, such unfortunate. Can't run away. He gets away the second time. Tilo picking up some keys here. He gets 2 of them.
Oh,
Breckenary has
yay.
a copper sword. Hey,
does have a copper sword. That's nice and useful. Okay, so we're gonna have Tilo here checking the Rimeldar chest. This, I mean, he got 2 keys. He's gonna pick up. What do we have here? We have
Erdrick's sword.
Sword.
That is huge. I mean, it's 1 chest, and they were having such hard time getting money. Brian Williams might not go back there for a while, not until he's got enough gold to obviously buy 2 chests. But Brian is checking the grave here. But this is big for Tilo, who can now start putting a huge dent in that experience gap. It's time to go find some stuff to kill.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, right now, Tilo should be thinking, all right, time to kill things. Especially, I think, what did he see? He saw some drolls, he saw the wolves, he saw this metal scorpion.
We've got a blue dragon in the top floor of the mountain cave, and that's going to send Brian Williams home. This is big news for Tilo, who is going to rapidly pick up level 6. And in fact, there it is.
There it is. In fact, he's probably going to rapidly pick up level 7, might even go to level 8. I could see Tilo trying to grind here a little bit until maybe he gets a useful spell. Or, like a heal or a hurt.
I think we've seen metal scorpions, wolves, and warlocks all just right in this general area. Of course, there was that armored knight as well, so you got to look out for him. But I think Tilo is just taking the experience point lead.
All right, and here we go. We have Brian Williams into the grave, which is underneath Canterville Castle. Did Brian get to any of the chests in the mountain cave?
He did not. That blue dragon was right in front of the top floor chest.
Well, now this is interesting for a little later. We do have 2 gold chests here in the first floor of the grave. So this might actually be a real benefit for Brian Williams, because he might go pick up a full cadre worth of keys here and check the Rimeldar chest, which we know is going to be the sword, and bring him back level with Tilo as far as equipment goes.
Yeah, absolutely. And he did get those 2 golds. He got kicked out, but that's fine. He didn't have enough keys to dive the bottom anyway, so I mean, keys would be the obvious next stop. And of course, those 2 chests means that a gold grind is possible should they want 17, 3, 10, 2, by the way, at level 7.
Boy, that's a nice level.
So it's kind of the reverse. You know how normally, like, as soon as you buy a sword, you find Erdrick's sword. In this case, it's as soon as you find Erdrick's sword, you get a strength level.
Okay, so what do we have Brian Williams here doing? Is he going for level 7 before even going down to Rimeldar to buy keys?
It kind of makes sense, I guess, if he feels he's close to it. I mean, level 7's a ways away, though, 337. But if he's comfortable fighting these wolves and, not knowing that the sword is there, or maybe he's looking for, like, shield money? I'm not sure, honestly. I'm not sure what he's thinking. A wyvern there.
Well, and it does kind of make sense because you've seen Erdrick's token, you've seen Erdrick's armor. Seriously, what are the odds that you're going to have Erdrick's sword in such an easily accessible chest after the game just handed you two of the three pieces of Erdrick's gear? I'm sure Erdrick's sword is not even in Brian's in his thinking at all right now.
Right. And, I feel like that Rimmildar, it very rarely has something good. It's a chest. It has equal odds of any other chest, but it just seems like it's always a womp, except for, I guess, that time when it's not, which is this time.
I don't know. It seems like whenever I'm involved in a seed, whether it be playing it or commentating it, it seems like Rimmildar actually has something more. I'm not going to say more often than not, but it tends to have something a little more often when I'm doing something with the seed. So it's kind of weird.
It must be Z-Man's boon, because it's always like a torch or like another key or something for me.
So I think we have Tilo doing some more grinding here just south of Rimmildar, and we do have Brian Williams getting level 7, which we know has that wonderful strength buildup.
Yeah, and let's see where he goes next. We know where he needs to go is Rimmildar. He is heading south towards it. Oh, do it, Brian Williams. Get yourself back in this. Tilo, rapidly approaching 2 experience points away from level 8. Pretty much has a full level ahead of Brian Williams. Just by
look,
virtue
there's
of
2 experience points. All right, let's see what we have here at level 8.
8, 9, 24 hit points, 5 magic, and a new spell. All kinds of new spells. Looks like we got Return, Outside. Outside's perfect for the Grave Dive if they decide to full dive that grave right behind Tantagel.
And also the spell of Stop Spell.
All right, Brian Williams going straight to Rimmildar. He's going to get his Erdrick sword.
And I would imagine now he's probably going to go head up and pick up maybe some a small shield, maybe? Nope.
At this point, it's like, oh, I have offense. I need to go out. The other guy probably did too, and he would be right in that thinking. Tilo putting a Magiwyvern to sleep, and yeah, he's doing decent damage to it. This is going to be a big XP chunk.
Yeah, so right now the race, I would put the race as pretty gosh darn even. Tilo does have a little bit of an experience lead, but Brian Williams does have a little bit of an... Oh, look, there's a town here just to the west of Rimmildar.
Yeah, and as you were mentioning, Brian definitely has the exploration lead. He knows where the mountain cave is and that there are blue dragons in it, but he doesn't know anything in there. And there's a cave just south of Tilo. It's Cantlin.
It's Cantlin, so we're going to get a coordinate check right now.
Absolutely, and it's super easy, right? They've got the key, they've got Erdrick's armor. You can just walk right over those barrier tiles, no problem.
And we do have Tilo hunting for a large or a silver shield, which he has not seen yet.
It's also giving Brian Williams a chance to catch up on experience as he is grinding in that zone with the knights. And there's an armored knight. That's not what he wants to see right now. There is a silver shield in the key-locked Cantlin store.
Yeah, and we do know that there is a gold grind possible in the top floor of the grave.
So silver shield is on the table should our runners want it. No large shield, no small shield, though.
There was a small shield in Rimmildar.
Ah. I don't think Tilo ever checked the Rimmildar shop. I think just Brian did. And go and fight. It looks like there is no coordinates to be checked.
Nope.
And Tilo maybe going to head up and, herb up and just kind of get the sundries here. Picks up Dragon Scale.
Yep, some herbs will be really nice because that's the only healing our runners will have for a little bit.
Yeah, until they decide to get to a heal or a heal more level. We are halfway through the spell giving levels. All spells will be learned by level 16. That's hard coded in. But what spells and when, it's totally randomized up until that point.
These Druin Lords are also pretty nice, considering how they have just Baby's Breath, and, with Erdrick's armor, that Baby's Breath doesn't do a whole heck of a lot of damage, and they go down in, 2 to 3 hits anyways.
Yeah, very nice. And Tilo also picking up Fairy Waters.
Yeah, no Repel spell, so, we'll speed up exploration a little bit, get rid of some of the riffraff that's around.
Yeah, you don't want to be running into red slimes anymore, do ya?
And
Tilo now
Tilo,
just fighting this knight. No sleeps involved. Just swing, swing. Looks like maybe 3-shot.
yeah, I was going to say, should be able to 3-shot this knight. Yep, there you go.
Brian Williams picks up his level 8. Tilo really close to level 9. 975 experience points is where level 9 comes, and there's a Wolf Lord there.
Yeah, and while Tilo was doing his thing in Cantlin, we do have Brian Williams closing the experience gap to about 200 experience points, give or take.
Yeah, still super, super close. We found the Jerk Cave, so once all of our items are found, our staff's been turned in, we'll be able to head over to the Jerk to create the Rainbow Drop, but they're not quite ready for it just yet. So Tilo exploring in a different direction, meets a skeleton. Got Brian Williams grinding on this wyvern over here.
One more decent enemy. This Wraith will classify as decent. Will get Tilo level 9.
Absolutely. So here we go. Waiting with bated breath. Level 9 comes with courage and wit. And some stats, too. 0765.
But it has heal more.
Very nice. So heal more, that's one more thing to check off the block. It is healing for our runners, as well as a de facto requirement. You kind of cannot beat the Dragon Lord without the heal more spell.
Yeah, I mean, really, it is. You know, it's not really a requirement, but it really kind of is, and we have it here at level 9. So there we go. So now our runners, you know, strength is still lagging behind just a little bit, but you know, we have everything we need now to go out and explore and take care of what we need to get done, right? We need to find the token, which we have. We need to find the Stones of Sunlight, and we need to find the Silver Harp. But we know where to trade the Silver Harp in. So, you know, we're halfway there. Now we just have to find the stuff.
Yep. Tilo, finding a dead end, decides to go ahead and return back and see what's behind Tantagel. He'll find the grave down there. We'll see if he decides to full clear it or not. He is a little low on MP. Like, he did not stop by the MP refill guy. He's got about half his pool. 2 heal mores, or, you know, varying numbers of utility spells in the tank. Into the grave he goes. Meanwhile, Brian Williams, continuing the grind, has an opportunity to pick up some experience. In fact, Brian Williams hitting level 9.
Yep,
now
indeed.
just 100 points behind. So yeah, he's done a good job of picking up that experience gap.
Yeah, so really at this point, we can call this race, I would say, pretty gosh darn even at this point. I would say the exploration advantage is neither really has an advantage, because Tilo has explored the area that's to the west and south of Rimmeldar, whereas Brian Williams has explored, you know, a little bit on what we presume to be the second continent. So, I think we're pretty gosh darn even at this point in time.
Yeah, I mean, from an eagle eyes view, I would say that knowing where the mountain cave is probably a little bit more useful, just because we know there's no coordinates in Cantlin, and that the Rainbow Drop Cave doesn't help them right now. But as you said, I mean, they're going to need to find both those places eventually. So, yeah, really no major advantage one way or the other.
And we do have Brian Williams, unfortunately, taking a death to an armored knight just to the west of Rimmeldar.
Yep, Tilo picking up the top 3 chests. We'll see. He's still walking. He did not cast outside immediately, so that leads me to think that he might be thinking about diving to the bottom. He's walking that direction. First, we got to get past this Druid Lord.
And this early, I think it's actually a pretty decent play, because you know you're still looking for the stones, you know you're still looking for the harp, and you know it's not on the overworld search spot. So that's one spot that's automatically gone. Yes, you have the coal search spot. Yes, you have the Hawksness spot. Yes, you've got the 5 chest in Mountain. You've got the back of Garenham, but I mean, you're right here. It's under the castle. I think this is the right play, to just dive as much as you can.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, the experience is pretty good in here as well, as Tilo now just 50 points away from level 10. So, I mean, worst case scenario, what? I pick up a bunch of experience as I try to dive to the bottom of the grave. Best case scenario, I make it to the bottom, I pick up a bunch of experience, and I get a key item.
right. Speaking of key items, treasure chest. He is approaching treasure chest number 4 here in the grave while taking on a Star Wyvern.
Yeah, and I like this decision to fight the Star Wyvern. It looks like it knows Stop Spell, which is great. And yeah, he takes it down very quickly, and here comes level 10. But yeah, he's doing great damage to it, and level 10 comes with 5 power, 11 response speed, 16 hit points, 1 magic, and another spell.
Repel.
Repel is great to pick up. Don't need to rely on fairy waters to repel anymore. In fact, Tilo's like, I know repel. I'm going to just start using up these fairy waters. Get them out of my inventory.
And Tilo finding yet another gold chest here in the grave.
So that's what, 3 of our gold chests are in the grave? There's what, 6 total? Is that right?
I think so.
So half the gold at least is in Garen's grave. Garen's been hoarding gold. What is he, Smaug?
I like the reference.
But despite this deep dive, Brian Williams doing a good job keeping up with the experience. As Tilo takes out a Star Wyvern, Brian takes out a regular Wyvern, so that particular fight probably not the best, but it does give Brian Williams a chance to hit level 10 just moments after Tilo.
Yeah, and this is something that you mentioned earlier, V, but the fact that Tilo can dive this grave and not really lose any experience to Brian Williams while doing so is just absolutely fantastic. It's keeping him pace, and he's getting experience done at the same point. I mean, this is an ideal scenario here for Tilo.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's a magic key. So it turns out the grave was a bust, but it kind of wasn't, because there was some experience to be got, and now he doesn't have to worry about it. Never have to go behind Tantagel ever again.
Unless you want a gold grind for a silver shield.
True. And he's going to rest at the inn in Rimmeldar, get all those magic points back. What happens if you go back to the chest that has Erdrick's sword? Will it give you a second sword? Can you dual wield them?
I think it just says, sorry, it's empty.
Oh, that's no fun.
Yeah, pretty much.
And it looks like Tilo did see that mountain cave over there. I know I caught a glimpse of it.
Well, that's the swamp cave.
Oh, is that the swamp? The one that's just to the south of this?
Yep. And even though he knows that there is nothing on the overworld spot, he does good friend of the program, right? Member of the community Sparkover a favor and searches the Sparkover Bridge. For those of you who may not know, Sparkover is a member of the Dragon Warrior Randomizer community who has a particular affinity for bridges and a bigger affinity for a bridge that leads to one tile of land. So we call them Sparkover bridges in her honor.
And of course, Sparko bridges notwithstanding, blue dragons in the swamp cave. Excellent move to pick up 180 experience points. Tilo, just slicing through that blue dragon like it's butter.
So that so far we haven't seen the blue dragon do anything but bite more. That actually might be a pretty good grind depending on what their strength levels get to.
Yeah, blue dragons often are as long as they don't have anything horrible on them, they can be a pretty lucrative fight. The 180 experience points is nothing to shake a stick at. It's pretty good piece of experience, and they're not like as hard to beat as red dragons. They don't bite as hard as red dragons. I've seen a number of blue dragon grinds.
And this werewolf here will get Brian Williams up to level... let me try to speak again. We'll get Brian Williams here up to level 11. Tilo right behind Brian, getting level 11. And then pretty much the next enemy Tilo kills will get him level 11.
Yep, and he's found a town. So Tilo coming across the town of Garen. He's got keys.
He's got keys and he's got plenty of gold, so he's probably hoping that there is a large shield here.
Trying to think, behind it has to be either the tablet cave or the bonus cave. I'm pretty sure we've seen everything else. We've seen the jerk, we've seen the turn-in. We've seen Swamp, and we've seen both the treasure caves.
Yeah, indeed. So this is going to be pretty much a free cave here. 6 power, 10 response speed, 29 hit points, 6 MP, no new spell at level 11.
Wow, look at that hit points. 1, 2, 3. They are just counting their way up to Sharlock ready stats. The magic not looking great still. The strength still looking pretty abysmal. But those hit points, though, and that agility. We've got wings. We've got a key fund. And we've got an empty in the back of Garanham.
All right, so let's see what we have here behind Garanham. It is the Tablet Cave.
So a quick little dive down. He does know the outside spell, so he'll be able to get out fairly quickly. No encounters in this cave. 1 chest. It's a cursed belt. There is some active tile out there. We know it's not the overworld tile, but Hawksness and or Cole has something.
Right. Okay, Brian Williams now finding the town of Cantlin, and we'll find the Silver Shield here. Now, Brian Williams does know that there is a gold grind possible here in the grave, which is behind Tantagel. So we'll see if he does a gold grind when he dives the bottom of the grave, which we assume is coming at some point.
Meanwhile, Tilo opting to fight this armored knight. It looks like it's not... I mean, it's hitting really hard, as they do, but it does not seem to have any abilities as well. And with that Heal More spell and their ton of hit points, he's able to get through it and pick up his level 11 and even more hit point boon.
Yeah, and I could see, the logic there on Tilo side. Before this level, it was, 60-some agility. Not really, a favorite to run, certainly from an armored knight. But at the same point in time, then, he's getting information on a Sharlock dive to see how bad those armored knights really are.
Yep, and he does find the bonus cave and picks up the Stone of Sunlights. Is this even randomized? Stone of Sunlight in the Stones of Sunlight cave? Come on now.
How vanilla. So that means we know that so now Cole and Hawksness are down to one of them is going to have either the harp or the death necklace.
Or the fairy flute. That's still
I forgot
out
about
there.
The fairy flute. Yeah, fairy flute.
And we still haven't seen any of the 5 chests in the mountain cave. In fact, Tilo has not even seen the mountain cave. Brian Williams did see it. Got taken out by a blue dragon way earlier levels. And Tilo fighting a red dragon now.
And again, this red dragon seems to be like everything else that we've seen from our Sharlock enemies. Has nothing but punch more.
And Tilo picks up 255. See, we can do it with other numbers too.
We can. I mean, I don't know that we should, but we can.
So, that red dragon, though, showing that is possible. Tilo taking it out. He is out of magic points, unfortunately. So he will try to knock off all of the dead ends that he can along the way here, and hopefully be able to find a town to top off in. The mountain cave, though, I think is what he needs to find. Obviously, yeah, there's got to be something in Cole or Hawksness. You are right. That search tile, super important. But I feel that there's going to be something of note in the mountain. Because that's the only 6 places left, right? Besides Sharlock?
No, so yeah. Well, right now that we know of, yes. I mean, the Hawksness and Cole could still have something.
Correct, yeah.
Golems with stop spell. Hello!
So far, all of the Sharlock monsters have seemed pretty tame. We haven't quite seen what Axe Knights can do, but the blue dragons have been just biting. The golems, no stop spell. The red dragons seem to just bite. The armored knights just seem to axe.
Oh man, golems that spam stop spell. This is, I mean, you can't really ask for a much better grind than that. I mean, you get 255 experience for killing a golem. You don't take that terribly much damage. They only take, 4 or 5 hits probably at this point. So
Yeah.
this is nice.
It's still a long fight, and when they do decide to swing, as we saw, it punches pretty hard, but it's certainly enough for level 12 with 7 more power, 5 response speed, 0 hit points, 2 magic, new spell of not hurt more, but all the other spells for sure.
Oh, this looks like a death warp here.
Yep, just look for a way out. Maybe pick up some experience while doing it. I mean, if the Star Wyverns want to cast Stop Spell too, who am I to not take their experience, right?
Right, exactly. And we do have Brian Williams going down into the grave. Let's see, is he going to check these first top? No, he is not checking the top chest first. So that tells me he is setting up a gold grind then for after he's done.
Yeah, absolutely. And he has seen the top chest, so he knows he knows what they are. Remember, he caught those early on.
Oh, look, Axe Knights have Stop Spell too.
Well, these aren't just the nicest Sharlock monsters to ever be.
Well, yeah, he's obviously looking to Death Warp, but these enemies aren't letting him Death Warp.
It's like, no, you will not go home. You will only collect experience. It's a trap. Look out, Tilo, it's a trap. Oops, no death. And I guess we go to the town and we top off and continue exploring over here. The map has willed it so. Betastrap asking whether or not Brian Williams. It sounds like Z-Man. That's what your theory is as well, right?
Yeah,
that Brian Williams going to dive it and then outside out.
That's my theory. Is that he's going to dive it. He's going to outside out. He's going to go into the treasury and then take the top chest. That's my theory.
Did he go to the treasury or did he go there on a death? It's like, are those 3 chests already open?
I don't know. I don't know if he's gone. I think he went there off a death,
throne
but
room,
I'm not 100% sure.
Tilo walking around this direction finds a town. I think this is Cole or Hawksness. It's Cole.
It is cold. I'm going to check for a large shield here.
No large shield.
Does not find one.
Cole has nothing. Hawksness is our only active search tile. Tilo not even bothering with the inn. He's like, just kill me. Do it now. It looks like he must have inned somewhere else. I see that max hit points.
Yeah, he ended Garenham. So now this is... Okay, so he just passes by the swamp cave. So we know south is the mountain cave, and we know south is Sharlock.
Yes, that's correct. If he keeps going south, he should run into Sharlock as well as the mountain, and I think it was, Breckenary was down there as well?
Maybe?
If I remember, there was a town down there, too. Brian Williams got to the bottom chest, casts outside, and walks out of the castle.
Okay, so he is not setting up a gold grind. Okay.
Tilo fighting the Star Wyvern down here. Just maybe a screen and a half away from Sharlock Castle.
And there's Sharlock.
Looks like Brian Williams making his way through the swamp cave as well. I think that's where he is.
And here is Breckenary. Oh, and he's like, no, wait, I'm going to go to the inn.
Yes, no large shield. Is there a large shield?
I don't think there was one here, but... Nope. So we
No
do
large.
not have a large shield in the seed.
Yeah, I have not seen one anywhere. So, I mean, that makes the silver shield all the more lucrative. Going in with a small shield is practically like going in with no shield at all.
And we do have Tilo whittling down a blue dragon here, and we do have Brian. It looks like Brian is beelining for what he knows to be the mountain cave. So we're going to have a virtual high five here in the mountain cave.
Absolutely. In fact, yeah, that blue dragon is what sent Brian out. He was a little closer to the first chest there, and actually, I don't know if he's seen what's south of here. I mean, there's not much more for them to explore. I wonder if Hawksness is just to the south.
Either that or maybe to the west of Sherlock, because I don't think we've seen west of Sherlock either.
Brian Williams with the hero walk just heads right on over and picks up the fairy flute from the top chest. Meanwhile, Tilo fighting his second blue dragon, as Brian Williams now on the second basement of the mountain. Chest 2 is a death necklace.
Well, that puts the harp in Hawksness then. Guaranteed.
Yep. You're absolutely right. I'm not sure if Brian has put 2 and 2 together. Maybe he hasn't seen everything that we've seen. But he's looks like going for the full clear. Drops the flute. That would be nice. Unfortunately, Gwalen won't let you.
Well, Brian hasn't seen the stones, so Brian doesn't know that the stones are free to pick up.
Gotcha. Tilo did pick up level 12. I saw 2218. I'm not sure what the Womp 0 was. I think it was strength. Yep, it was definitely strength. So strength, another 0 strength level at level 13. Or maybe strength was the 2. Agility was the 0.
Was the Womp. Yep. And Zarnak's pointing out in chat that the Axe Knights behind Stop Spell have the spell of Hurt.
That's just the scariest Axe Knight I've ever heard of, he said sarcastically.
All right, so I'm pretty sure Tilo now knows that the harp has to be in Hawksness.
Yeah, I think he's seen everything at this point. So, yeah, I think you are right. And so Hawksness is our big, hard-to-find place. Like, Hawksness being the limiting factor of this seed.
And, man, if there's like a Golem or an Axe Knight there, I mean, that's a free grind.
Yeah, absolutely. So Tilo's going to pick up this gold chest, and he's going to pop an outside just like Brian Williams did. Brian went to town, checked the shop, used the inn. Looks like Tilo's making his way to the inn as well. Runs into a wizard. Tilo's been getting a lot more encounters on this kind of area, and it does open up quite a bit to the south. I feel like Hawksness has to be down here somewhere.
Zarnax, I think I actually kind of disagree with that because Brian Williams has not seen the Stones of Sunlight yet. So he still has to find the Stones of Sunlight, which we know is in the far west on the second continent here. So he still has to find that. So I think Tilo is certainly in the lead here. Now, is it an insurmountable lead? Heck no. I think that if Tilo finds Hawksness within any reasonable sameness of time as Brian Williams, then Tilo is definitely in the lead because Brian Williams hasn't seen the western half of this continent here.
Exactly. Brian Williams, the first time he came through Swamp, he went to the east. He found that mountain cave and that Breckenary and that Sharlock there, but he died to a blue dragon before hitting even the first chest in the mountain cave. So he hasn't seen to the west. And it looks like down here is a big dead end. So there is something in the world somewhere in the world that we have not gone yet.
I think it's due west of Sherlock. I think that's the area we haven't seen yet.
Right. Assuming that opens up.
Yeah. It doesn't even need to open up that much. Maybe it's just a screen or two behind it.
Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, I don't think we've seen west of Sherlock at all.
We already got chat speculating about is the play to win without the shield. I think it's very possible because at this point, a gold grind is going to be how much more time into it to set it up.
Yeah.
Perhaps if they had set it up earlier, somebody might have been able to get a shield, but at this point, I mean, that's minutes. It's
All
a
right.
lot of DP for some minutes, but it's minutes.
All right. What are we missing? Because west of Sherlock is nothing. What are we missing?
The only other thing I can think of is west of Tantagel. Remember they went there and there was like the Armored Knights and the Axe Knights and stuff? I don't know if they've fully looked that direction.
Yeah, that's possible. Do we know, is the area like south and east of Swamp Cave locked off on the first continent? Is that blocked off?
That I'm not certain about. Again, the maps, I don't even draw maps when I race. So I honestly don't know. That's why I'm here announcing instead of in the grand finals, I think.
You and me both.
But I would say right now, at this point, Tilo definitely has a little bit of an advantage, but it is a race to Hawksness. Whoever finds Hawksness first, I think, will have the greatest advantage, despite the minor experience difference that we have. That's about 1,000 points now, 900 or so.
And it does look like our runners are both of our runners looks like, well, let me just rephrase. It looks like both of our runners are going to last location something. Are they both going to last location Hawksness, or will Brian find Hawksness first and then, explore everywhere? There it is.
There's Hawksness. Where was that? I totally missed where he was at.
South and just a little west of Swamp Cave North.
Interesting. And Red Dragon sends Tilo home as Brian Williams takes out the Magiwyvern. So that means Tilo's got to get back through the Swamp Cave then, because Swamp South is what's over here, right?
Tilo setting up a gold grind.
He is. Meanwhile, Brian Williams taking on a Red Dragon, having to burn some resources. He's got a very nice hit point total as he gets bit one more time. Takes him down to 42. It's Brian Williams' namesake. Red Dragon down for 255.
All right, so now the question becomes, what's going to be here on the Hawksness spike tile?
Yeah, Tilo making the play for the silver shield here, as Brian Williams is gonna find this spike and then find his harp, and it's an Axe Knight. Oh my God! You sit here until they don't have Hurt Mores yet, but still, it's an Axe Knight with Hurt and Stop Spell, right?
It's an Axe Knight with Hurt and Stop Spell. You're barely taking any damage. You just you bash the thing with your sword over and over and over again, and you leave a pile of armor the size of Mount Everest in its wake.
50% Stop Spell, 75% Hurt. This is about the juiciest Axe Knight I've ever seen.
And if you want to take like no damage, pop a Stop Spell on it, which it doesn't resist.
Tilo has made it to the gold chest and is rapidly grinding to silver shield money. That's 14,800 gold.
The stones are in the Stones of Sunlight Cave, J. Coper, but they are due like kind of at the west end of the second continent.
And we were talking about like, do you get the shield or not? And now seeing Tilo doing it, I mean, it does give him some opportunity, right? He will be repelling stuff. The agility is amazing. So this will allow him to repel things in Sherlock, and agility. They've still got levels to go. So I mean, at the end of the day, I can't say it's the worst play in the world, but he does got to find that Hawksness, because now Brian is just setting in on a grind here, and he can just kill Axe Knights all day here.
All right, so then it's going to all be dependent on how quickly does Brian Williams find his Stones of Sunlight. Okay, so Tilo is going to sit on his gold, right? Because we do know that the Jerk Cave is right by Cantlin. We know that. So he's going to sit on his gold, hopefully doesn't die, and then I think buy the silver shield when he goes to turn in his stuff.
Yeah, and I think he has. Yeah, in fact, he went straight to Hawksness. I think he had a good idea of where it was. I'm not sure if Tilo maps or not, but he knew that was like
he
the
knew.
dead end.
Yeah, I don't know if he maps, but yeah, he pretty well knew. Okay, so Beta confirming that Tilo does map, so he knew exactly where he was going.
Yep, and so that's a great play. Brian Williams picking up level 14 there. I saw the 15 hit points. The other stats seem kind of meh, but 14 hit points looks like maybe 6 magic and just mediocre other stuff. And so we have got ourselves a race. Tilo, I think, still has a bit of an advantage. He's going to get the harp here. Now, I don't know how long he's going to stay to grind. As nice as it is, I would probably stay a while just like Brian Williams is, especially in Tilo's position where he has everything he needs at this point. He's got the money for a silver shield. He knows where to go to turn in all of his business. He's got his stones. If I'm Tilo, I grind here until my magic is gone or until I feel I'm at a go level.
To answer up to NG's question in chat, the Harp Cave is not next to Cantlin, but the Jerk is right next to Cantlin. So the Rainbow Drop Cave is right next to Cantlin. So, yeah.
I think the Harp is, was that behind Garenham?
No, the Harp it's in that Sherlock zone enemy just to the west of Tantagel.
That's right. Tilo now picking up level 14.
Did Tilo search the spot for his harp?
I think he saw an Axe Knight and it was like, I know that the harp's there, but I'm going to kill this Axe Knight instead. According to our tracker, it looks like he did pick up the harp, though.
Okay. So I wonder if maybe Tilo just sits here and grinds until he needs to cast Return.
I mean, he knows where everything is. I think that's the play. I mean, you're not going to find any better grind than an Axe Knight with Hurt and Stop spell, whether you've got Hurt more or not. So yeah, I think he sits here and he did pick up the harp there. I think he sits here and he grinds until he feels he's at a go level. He's got everything else. He knows where to go to turn in everything else.
Yeah, so really, the closeness of this race is now going to be determined by how long it takes Brian Williams to find the Stones of Sunlight. I mean, we know they're not terribly far away. It's probably about a minute or two journey from where he is now. But yeah, that's pretty much what the race is going to come down to, I think.
Yeah, I mean, or maybe if Brian makes... I mean, he does have a bit of an experience lead, right? Whoa, what was that?
I love this play. I absolutely love this play. He put on the death necklace for his grind.
Oh, all right, yeah. Since Hurtmore doesn't seem to be coming.
Right, yeah. It gives him extra 10 attack power. He's going to take down the Axe Knights a lot quicker. The Axe Knights aren't damaging them for anything. I love this play for Tilo. Absolutely love it.
Absolute fight more right here. And, you know, there's really no reason to... you don't need to take it off. Like, it can just stay on the whole time.
Yep.
There's no need to Death Warp. There's no need to go back to Tantagel Castle.
And we know Sherlock is tame. I mean, we've got a fire-breathing, a baby-breathing wizard. We have a stop spell.
He's going to repel wizards. He's going to get a shield.
Yeah. And he might even repel Axe Knights at this point. I mean, if he gets 3 more agility, he repels Axe Knights with the silver shield.
This is looking great for Tilo. An excellent play there, putting on that death necklace. Brian Williams, I think he's about 2 Axe Knights away, so we will see what the stats for level 15 bring in just another night kill or so. But Tilo rapidly picking up the pace as he's able to take him out in about 1 fewer swings per fight.
Yeah, I think Brian was pretty consistent with the 500 experience point lead. But that is, I mean, well, it's now down to what? 400.
And here comes level 15. We've got 6 power, 1 response speed, 5 more hit points, 11 magic. That's like a hurt more and a half. And there's the hurt more spell. Sorry, a heal more and a half is what I meant there.
Yeah.
And Brian Williams ready to go. He's happy with that level.
Well, I think he's happy enough with it that he wants to find those stones of sunlight now.
Yeah, exactly. To go out into the world, he figures he'll be able to pick up the rest of the experience along the way as he grinds and explores.
Yep.
And Tilo, 2 Axe Knights away. Well, this one plus 1 more. Brian, of course, has to explore. He doesn't know where it is, so he has to keep going south here. Who knows how far this is going to open up for him.
Now,
For Brian Williams' sake, we hope it closes off soon.
Right, and if I remember correctly, there are some Sharlock or decent enemies on the way to the Stones of Sunlight Cave. So it's possible that Brian Williams gets a bunch of experience while still exploring.
Yeah, I mean, I think yeah.
So is Brian Williams going to lose time? Yes, Brian Williams is going to lose time. Question is how much time?
Exactly. I mean, the routes he needs to take to get to where he needs to go has monsters that give good experience. So he'll be able to try to do it. But Tilo has just pretty much at this Axe Knight will take the experience lead. And he's got to get over there. Brian Williams has got to go get those Stones of Sunlight stat. Because Tilo is, even though he hasn't finished the homework, is essentially in grind and go.
Right.
Brian Williams searching the plains, checking every last dead end, making sure this continent is clear. Tilo casting Return, casting Repel. Has tons of gold still in pocket.
There we go. Goes to turn in his harp for the Staff of Rain. Yep, we do have Brian Williams in Garenham.
So Brian Williams about to pick up his Stones of Sunlight.
Okay, this race is close.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, 300 experience points. Tilo's got a touch, just a touch of lead in terms of exploration, and that he is finishing the homework right now. But he does have that silver shield gold in hand. And I think that is a huge boon because, again, it means less encounters in Sharlock, which just makes the dive go that much faster.
Yeah, I mean, this is an app in first. Okay, anyways, but yeah, I mean, the silver shield right now, where its biggest value is in the repelling the Sharlock enemies.
Absolutely. And, they're still not at a go level. They've only got 122 AP, which is 20 swings on the dragon. That's 122 with that death necklace equipped. So there's still some grinding that needs to happen. But Tilo has finished more or less all the homework. He's a rainbow drop away.
He's going to pick up his herbs. He's going to pick up a bunch of fairy water.
Yeah. Yep, fairy waters, for sure.
And then pick up the silver shield. And Brian Williams, speaking of pickup, has picked up his Stones of Sunlight.
There it is. So Brian Williams getting that last key item and needs to make his way around. Now, has Brian Williams has seen Cantlin and all of this stuff over here, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yep, so it's essentially caught up.
Yep, so Tilo has his drop. Now he has his silver shield.
Look at that beautiful defense power.
Ugh, 93, that's beautiful.
And chances to grow. I mean, there's still at least one more level that's needed. Tilo casting the Repel, making his way towards that swamp cave. Of course, we know that's where Sharlock is. And I would say I'm grind the Axe Knight, because the Axe Knight's right there close. It's right close to the swamp exit. And then head over to Breckenary to heal up. Like, you never need to go back to original continent again.
Brecconary's a walk. I mean, personally, what I do is I attack the Axe Knights, because you're gonna take the Axe Knights down pretty much in 2 or 3 swings pretty consistently. And given how far the walk is to Brecconary, I absolutely just attack the Axe Knight till you're satisfied with your stats.
Yeah, that's what I meant. I meant Brecconary because it's right next to Sharlock. Like, that's where you heal before going to Sharlock.
Gotcha. Yeah, I agree with that.
And into Hawksnest we go. Tilo in official grind and go. All homework done. I mean, done. Yeah, done. Brian Williams getting his rainbow drop. We've got drops all around. And the major difference, Brian Williams, 3,200 gold short of a silver shield. And probably not going to get one. Maybe he's going to go in here. He's going to stock up on herbs, obviously, and maybe do a fairy water, same as Tilo did.
Oh, a back attack by an Axe Knight. That's rude.
Yeah, absolutely. I always miss the, or not miss, but forget the what do I defense break / repel in Sharlock. I know that as soon as it goes green, we're repelling wizards. I'm pretty sure at 93 we're repelling wizards and werewolves. Is there anything else?
Mm-hmm. Wizards, werewolves. I think he's repelling the green dragon, and he's, I believe, 2 more agility away, so 1 more defense power away from Axe Knights, I think.
Right, 94 is the Axe Knight tier, if I remember correctly.
Right. So I think it's green dragons, wizards, werewolves right now. Next would be the Axe Knights at defense power 94.
And speaking of Axe Knights, he's chopping them down left and right. Brian Williams meets a red dragon on the way to Hawksnest. I think Tilo did too.
Oh, DK and Chet reminding us the Star Wyverns are also broken as well.
Oh yeah, absolutely. We've got 8 power, 1 speed, 4 hit points, 3 magic. We're getting close. At 130 attack power, you're looking at 15 swings on the Dragon Lord. A little bit fewer if you use your Fairy Waters effectively.
And we've got 11 heal mores. Oh, that's not there. Not there.
Not quite. Like, I'm thinking probably 14, 13 if you, like, max roll around with your Fairy Waters and that. So, yeah you got to grab one more.
Yeah, I think you got to get 1 more level. And as long as you get 1 more agility in that 1 more level, you're defense breaking the Axe Knights, so they go away.
And so it's Axe Knights all around. We've got that 1 tile in Hawksnest with all the Axe Knights. Our runners just creating a pile of armor here in the back of in the back of the shop in Hawksnest. Well, the Reds AKs, I mean, they could be dicey, but they haven't had any major abilities. We've seen our runners fight through Red Dragons several levels already. Obviously, they're going to be taking chunks out of them and potentially wasting resources. But there hasn't been a single Sharlock monster with any powers of note aside from their regular bites or punches.
Yeah. I mean, and really, as you talk about the entire scene, we've only seen 1 enemy with DL2 breath, and that was the Poltergeist.
Yes, the 1 enemy you don't want to fight anyway.
Oh, DK brings up a very good point. I don't think we've seen Stoneman.
That is true. We have not seen the Stoneman. But with this agility, the Stoneman should not be that big of an issue as well. I mean, they should be very runnable.
And to answer a question in chat, does Brian Williams have a shield? Answer, no.
Yeah, Brian Williams did not opt to do a gold grind, and at this point, I don't expect him, even though he very likely will get to the amount of gold necessarily through regular grinding. I don't see him making a trip back there to get it.
Looks like Tilo's, I think, going to hurt more his way now to level 17. And is Brian Williams going to do a dive and grind here?
It could save him some time. The next level is at 12,000 experience points. I mean, it's a ways away. Now, Brian Williams still hasn't put on that death necklace either, so that helps a lot with the dive. I mean, having that 150 hit points, you can, fail some runs here and there and still walk it off without having to spend resources.
So Brian Williams going back into Garenham?
Yeah, it's an inn. Maybe he's just refreshing his magic points before going back to grind some more?
Meanwhile, Tilo cannot get out of Hawksness because he keeps getting hit by red dragons and axe knights. I mean, you're not going to run away from an axe knight because why would you? And, well, you're not even going to try to run away from a red dragon right now.
He's got to pop his last magic points on a heal more here. He should be able to take it down, but if there's another one step away, it could be bad for Tilo.
But he is now 82 experience away from level 17.
Yeah, I imagine he'll find something on the overworld as he walks over to... there's a something on the overworld. You got to run from it at this point.
Mm-hmm.
87 agility. That's 2 fails. Triple. 3rd time's the charm.
He had to be a little clenching there on that one.
Yeah, absolutely. But he does get away. He's healing with every step here. No magic points to heal himself. He doesn't want to burn the herb because, that means another trip to the herb store. And he makes it to the Breckenary Inn. 6 gold.
All right, so now I would imagine we're going to see Tilo heading into... Oh, he's going to pop a repel and then what? Yep, he's going to pop a repel,
in again.
Take another in, and then head down.
When that repel, actually, he still had 11 heal mores out of it, but I think, you never know if you have to cast a stop spell somewhere.
Right, or, maybe he'll just want to pop another repel once he gets in there.
Exactly. Yeah, with everything he's breaking, for sure.
All right, here we
and
go.
Red Dragon 2 steps in.
Yep, so this is going to give Tilo level 17. The question is Tilo going to have to do a quick reverse? And, but Kai should know it, Jageki. So will Tilo have to go back to an inn? Oh,
15.
Hi. Go.
Go.
Go. You go.
You might want that extra heal more, but just go.
Nope, you just go.
DP 94 now repelling those Axe Knights. He's even trying to run from the red D.
And so basically, I think the only enemies he's not repelling in here are Armored Knights, Red Dragons, and Golems. Is he repelling the Stonemen? He might not be repelling Stonemen.
Blue D as well, I think.
Blue D, that's right. I forgot about them.
And so Tilo, definitely in the driver's seat here. I think has excellent odds of taking care of this. And yeah, there's that repel you were talking about. And with 145 AP, he's looking at 10 swings on that Dragon Lord. That's a nice solid 10.
Oh, yeah. Okay, and Mr. Holmes mentioning in chat that Stonemen is 100 defense power and Blue Ds are 98. Brian Williams getting his go level.
Tilo has made it out of Zone 1.
And hasn't seen an enemy since.
Just repel it all. And that's where that Silver Shield is really helping out in terms of the dive. As I'm sure when Brian Williams goes down, he's going to be seeing things all throughout this. As Tilo now just about done with the U room. He's going to be in the rectangle in just a second. And there's an Armor Knight. Gets run blocked. Gets away on the second run. And we've made it to the lit up bottom of Charlotte Castle. Another Armored Knight. So we know there's AKs on the bottom floor. Go ahead.
Yep, there's no reason to check the treasury because there's nothing that could be. I mean, what would be useful in the treasury? Herbs. That'd be about it.
It looks like Tilo. It looks like Tilo never found the fairy flute. Maybe he wants that for a potential golem fight. I don't know.
Oh, he found it. He just didn't pick it up.
Fair enough.
Oh, and there's our stone man with hurt.
Yeah, that's right. The stone man with hurt. Not
this, in all my years running this and commentating this, right, this Dragon Warrior Randomizer, this might seriously be the tamest Sherlock I have ever seen.
Yeah, there's nothing bad and lots of good on these Sherlock monsters. Brian Williams making his first step into Sherlock Castle just as Tilo meets the blue dragon on the spike tile.
I mean, and not even just necessarily in Sherlock, now that I think about it. I mean, this might be the tamest enemy set I've ever seen, period.
It has. I mean, I think we saw, one little mini wombo on one little monster that nobody ever wants to fight. So, yeah. Tilo starting Dragon Lord 1 fight. He's already got the Death Necklace equipped. He's had it equipped for the last 25 minutes.
Yep, and the Dragon Lord is, of course, Dragon Lord 1 is being defense broken, so he's not even worried about taking attacks and swings right through the Dragon Lord and is on to Dragon Lord Form 2. Does not get back attack. This should be a absolutely free fight.
Yeah, he starts with a very low 11, but again, should be pretty much free. That 14 takes us to 25. $38. No use risking it. Heals on a 48. 50, an even 50.
Has a chance for a double here.
69, baby. Very nice.
And there's a double.
85. $97. $117. Big old 20 right there.
There you go. That's what you want to see.
$133. This next swing could potentially do it.
Yeah. The DL2 is dead to a miss menu here by Tilo.
Not quite enough there, but this here, he's got 2 swings in a row, and down goes the Dragon Lord. Radiance streams forth. Get those GGs out, folks.
Yeah, indeed. It does look like we are going to get a winner-take-all Game 3. And that will be tomorrow here on RPG Limit Break at 2 Eastern Time. 2 p.m. Eastern Time.
Absolutely. So, yeah, get those GGs out. Tilo turning it in, making it a fight for the last race. And great job, Tilo. This is going to be, I'm looking forward to next week. This has been a tournament to remember. And we'll see if we can't get Tilo in for a quick post-game interview as Brian Williams steps up to the Blue Dragon on the spike tile.
And for those of you here in chat, Tilo's official finishing time, 1 hour, 19 minutes, and 49 seconds.
Absolutely well done.
And
Brian
you're right.
Williams
Go ahead.
I was going to just say, Brian Williams met a stone mantle on the path. He gets away from it just fine. He herbs up, and he will also be declared a fool by the Dragon Lord. Dragon Lord starts with a stop spell.
And Tilo has mentioned in the racetime.gg room that he will be joining us in the commentator's booth after the credits roll.
So keep an eye open for the end, and then we'll meet Tilo. The question is, can Brian Williams defeat the Dragon Lord 2 before Tilo's credits end? And if so, do we credit him the win instead? No, I'm just kidding. That's not in the rules.
Did Brian Williams put on the death necklace? I did not see.
I did not catch that either. I think. Well, let's see what he's swinging for. At 135 AP, I mean, you don't necessarily have to. You're looking at 13 swings, and I think he's got the magic going in.
Yeah, but at 159, okay. So chat mentioning, yeah, he did put the death necklace on.
Very good. And welcome in, Tilo. Congratulations on tying up this final best of 3 for the grand finals. And yeah, well done.
Yeah, I'm still shaking.
Yeah, that was a really, really well played seed, Tilo. You really played that well. GG, my friend.
Yeah, it took me so long to get off the ground, and then with Rimeldar right there, I didn't feel quite so bad with Rimeldar right there, just because we didn't have any money, and so I didn't know that it would help a whole lot. Urson tells me that Brian bought a bamboo pole, which would have helped us with those ghosts. So, but fortunately, I decided to immediately grind for key money to get the Rimeldar chests, and that helped me out. And then from there, I mean, it was just everything in the world you could swing at, because nothing was dangerous in this seed. I thought I was in trouble when I found Hawksness at the end, which was being right by Swamp Cave after I completely explored the rest of the second continent. But I guess it was okay.
Yeah, I mean, number one, you and Brian both basically full cleared the entire map. Brian was missing the Stones of Sunlight, and you were missing Hawksness. So, it was basically a full clear of the entire map for both of you. And, going back to one of your points you were mentioning, Valevi and I were just finishing discussing that this might be one of the most tamest enemy sets we've ever seen in a Dragon Warrior Randomizer seed. It was incredibly tame as far as enemies go.
It was ridiculous. I mean, you had wizards wizards had sleep and baby breath, and that was the most dangerous thing we had out there. You had punching blues and reds, you had axe knights, star wyverns, and golems, all with stop spell, and at least the axe knights with hurt. You had just the armored knights just swung, and the only thing I hadn't seen going in there was the stonemen, and I ran into one of those at the bottom floor, failed to run, and it threw hurt out me, and I just laughed and said, "Of course."
Yeah, so really the two most dangerous things we saw was a poltergeist with DL2 breath, and then skeletons had sleep and hurt more, which I don't think you saw. I think Brian was actually the one to see the sleep hurt more skeletons. But
yeah, I never saw a skeleton until after I had the sword and I was one-shotting them.
Yeah, but beyond that, I mean, those were the two easily most dangerous enemies. But otherwise, this enemy set was super simple, super tame. We are joined by Brian Williams here in chat. Brian Williams, GG, well played.
Thank you. Yeah, GG, Tilo. We got a game 3.
I'm excited. I think everybody's excited. Well, almost everybody.
Almost everybody.
Well, great job, Brian Williams. Yeah, you finished 123.09. So a fantastic showing there, and again, a super, super close race. What were your first thoughts coming through this seed?
Yeah, what could be in Rimeldar? I mean, it's just one chest. So yeah, there you go. Game over.
Yeah, it was quite interesting. You were the first one to get the keys and Erdrick's armor, but Tilo was the first one to check that chest in Rimeldar and get the sword. And with strength where it was and Hurtmore not coming till the very end, that did allow Tilo to start picking up experience. But I mean, go back and watch the VOD. It was just super close back and forth all the way through.
Yeah, I checked that chest. Actually, I wasn't even thinking sword. I was thinking money. I was like, okay, I'm going to buy 2 keys to get into there so hopefully I can get some money and buy some gear and buy some more keys and just fully get off the ground there. And then I walked in and I got the sword and I went, well, I don't have money, but I'm okay with that.
Yeah, I just I bought 1 key and then I fought towards Swamp Cave on the side, and I was like, well, when I get strong enough to go through there, I'll see what's on the other side. And I found Breckenary, and I died in Mountain Cave, and I was like, well, okay, I'm not going to go back there for a little bit. Let's get money for that one chest in Hawksness or Rimbledar. And I was like, oh no, this whole time.
So one super heads up play that I want to point out, and so I'm just going to ask Tilo, tell me about your use of the death necklace there.
Yeah, we had that nice sweet grind on the Axe Knights. I was actually hoping we wouldn't get hurt more until level 16 because I was looking at that and I felt a little behind because of how long it took me to get to level 3. And I was trying to think of anywhere I could get in time, and I realized we have a lot of hit points. I have no need to go back to the castle ever again, and I'm taking 3 to 4 swings on these Axe Knights. So I threw the Death Necklace on and got a level and a half swinging at them and, taking off maybe half a swing to a swing per Axe Knight.
Yeah, that was we were super excited to see that, and it did. I think it made your Axe Knight grind just that much more efficient. And you're right, you never had to go back to Tantragel. There was no reason to ever go back to that side of the continent. So super heads up play there. And again, just overall well run, the both of you.
Yeah, this was like the polar opposite of last seed, so it's kind of a fun combination of the 1-2 punch there.
I thought about it briefly, but I just never put on the Death Necklace unless it's dire, and the grind seemed pretty fast. But yeah, I was 3-shotting a lot, so if you could get down to 2, you're probably saving 5 to 10 seconds, and you never needed it, right? You never needed to take it off. The walk down Charlock was trivial. Everything was easy. I never got a shield, so I didn't rappel down, but I didn't want to walk all the way to Garenham at the end when I grinded enough money for it on the Axe Knight.
Well, there was a silver shield in Cantlin, actually. I got the silver shield after I died once, went down and grabbed it after I cleared all the towns and knew there wasn't a large out there. And I was thinking, okay, the amount of time it takes me to go grab that gold in the basement, and since literally it's right beside the jerk, I said, I think I'll get as much time back repelling monsters and Charlock, and sure enough, I didn't run into a single Zone 2 encounter on my way down.
Yeah, so it was quite interesting, Tilo. You set up that gold grind, you picked up the gold, and then you went to Hawksness and grinded for a while, and then went back and picked it up. So just excellent routing on your path to the shield, because it was kind of out of the way, but it wasn't out of the way. You had to go back in that general area anyways. So just super heads up there as well. And you're absolutely right. You didn't see a single Zone 2 enemy because you repelled them all.
Yeah, I think it worked out decently for me. Although I will say, when we got that last level and it was not a borderline level, I was terrified because I'm like, if he hits level before me, I'm done. I was planning on getting the last 1,000 experience points on the way down because any tiny marginal gain I was happy with, and the Red Dragons and Axe Knights wouldn't let me get out of Hawkson's without almost hitting that level. So I wasn't able to get that extra half a dive in before, half a dive extra in. So I was really nervous.
Well, overall, that was an excellent run, and exactly the kind of race that we have come to expect through this tournament, and to be in the grand finals. And as was mentioned before, we are moving into a winner-take-all race tomorrow. I believe that's tomorrow at what is it? Is it 1 Eastern?
2 o'clock.
2 Eastern, 11 Pacific. I'm on the best coast, so I got to put that 11 Pacific out there, and I'm super excited to see that happen.
Yep, just 15 and a half scant hours, not even a full 24.
So we hope to see everybody here. Are there any last minute thoughts about this race, any of this stuff from our runners?
No, I mean, it was a pretty gentle seed. I mean, I don't think we probably died very much after that start, and so I'm hoping the next one is a little bit bumpier, a little more of a challenge, a little more excitement. I guess it was pretty exciting. It was close, but maybe a little more thinking caps for us tomorrow.
Yeah, definitely. You want something. This is a fun one to do. You had the slog, then you had the jet, but it'll be nice to have one of those real complex seats at the end to pull everything out. But for me, it's thank you to you, Velu V and Z and Archfield for putting the show on to us, or the show on for us. I know you guys did a great job.
Absolutely. So yeah, I mean, thank you guys for putting on a great race. I think this was again, I'm really looking forward to watching y'all finish it up tomorrow, and I think we are looking to see where we're heading off to next. Of course, today's race was restreamed by Archfield Monk, who also took care of all of that tracking that you see down on there, looking at all the stats and that. I am Velu V. With me is Z-Man. And Z-Man, any final thoughts before we wrap things up here?
Just another great race, and I hope everybody here joins us tomorrow again, 2 p.m. Eastern Time, right back here on RPG Limit Break. You're going to have Mr. Holmes and DK9146 calling the winner-take-all Game 3 here tomorrow, 2 p.m. Eastern Time. So I hope to see everybody there tomorrow. Vela V, why don't you send us on up out of here?
Absolutely. Looks like we are raiding Hactical, who is doing a casual run of Final Fantasy X. Don't spoil it for him, but send all the love. And yeah, we will see you on the next one. Have a great night.